Are you looking for a home that has a good quality, safe location, but will also be a good bargain? Well, today, this might be the most important video you see because we're going to do an exclusive on the DR Horton neighborhood, Saratoga, here in Granbury, Texas. We're going to share with you some of the incentives that they're offering that helps people like you get a much lower interest rate and therefore save a lot of money, not only this year, but over the course of 30 years. So be sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. We're actually going to do an in-office overview, and then we're going to go on site and do some drone footage and possibly walk through some of the homes if I can get one of the reps there to meet with me. So make sure you stay tuned to that because we're actually going to do some in-person stuff on the ground. But for now, we're going to jump into the DR Horton neighborhood. If this is your first time to the channel, we really appreciate you tuning in to today's episode. Be sure you click that subscribe button and press that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about any changes or updates of anything going on here in Granbury. We have people that reach out to us all the time. Sometimes they're a month out, a year out. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Call, text, email. Give us some feedback on the videos, comment, anything you have. We'd love to visit with you and answer any questions or give you any advice that we can. So, DR Horton, how are they building these homes and offering them at a lower price? Are they cutting corners? Are they building a home that's not going to be structurally sound? How are they doing it? Well, DR Horton is one of the biggest, probably the biggest home builder in America. And what they've done is they've got a mortgage company, a title company, and the builder. And they have all three of these together, and so they can create a combination of things that allows them to help save consumers money. They go in, they buy the land, they develop it, they install have the utilities installed. Being able to have the whole project contained from beginning to end allows them to save money at several different stages during the home building process and the selling process. So I'm going to share my screen with you. We have some exclusives of the DR Horton neighborhood, all the layouts, floor plans, and some of the incentives that they're currently offering to folks that are looking at buying a new home. So here's one of them, 3.99% for an FHA mortgage. That is incredible. Rates are closer to 7% right now. That's almost a 3% savings on an interest rate for an FHA mortgage. That is an unbelievable amount of savings in terms of your monthly note, and especially over even 5 to 10 years. It's crazy how much money you save with this much of a lower interest rate. How are they doing that? Well, they're able to, because they're the builder and the bank and the title company, they're able to bring some of these savings in because they're containing the whole project. Also, there's a few pieces of information about their homes: spray foamed, connected to smart home. They've got good AC units, Linuxes that are high efficiency, 15 SEER. So there's a lot of things that they have in the home, and I can send you all of this. I don't want to read through all of it. My goal here today was to show you what they're offering. The incentives that they have currently are hard to beat. There are some other neighborhoods where you will see prices compete with DR Horton and possibly be lower, but the interest rates are not by any stretch, and they're not even close. So it's hard. So when you compare like monthly notes, DR Horton is very hard to beat. And a lot of those neighborhoods, they're not as self-contained as DR Hortons, and they're not monitored as well. So you might have mobile homes or rundown homes with boarded up windows when you go through, and it might be, so one of the reasons why these homes are cheap over there is because they have a mixed community, whereas DR Horton's neighborhood is going to be pretty clean cut, nice sidewalks, everything's upkept. I actually manage some properties in there, and if anything gets out of order, the HOA will come in and do something. And the HOA is not very expensive. I mean, the prices are not much. HOA quarterly dues are $100 per quarter, so $400 a year for the HOA. So it's not much, but it does help keep things in line. The tax rate's 1.6%. Some of these other neighborhoods, they're at 1.2%. So that is a 0.4% difference on the taxes. So that is something to consider. So I am sensitive to that. But I think overall, with the savings you're getting, it might be worth looking at this neighborhood. we're going to look at where is Saratoga. So let's back up just a little bit. If you're not too familiar with this channel and you're just here seeing this, Granbury is going to be southeast of Fort Worth, and you're going to go down a street called Highway 377. You're going to run south on 377. You're going to go through Benbrook, you're going to go through Crescent, and you're going to get to Granbury here. In Granbury, there are two sides. There's the Fort Worth side, and there's the far side of Granbury. If you are wondering why we break it into these two pieces, it's because in Granbury, there's a little bottleneck of traffic here and a bottleneck of traffic here. That gets pretty bad. So if you live anywhere in here or even out here in Pecan Plantation and you have to go up this way, it is brutal if you're trying to go to Fort Worth. You're going to be backed up and have just a terrible trip going through all this traffic here. And if you live on the Fort Worth side of Granbury, over here, you're basically going to bypass most of that traffic, and you're going to have a straight shot into Fort Worth, very quickly. Now, on the Fort Worth side of Granbury, there is no other neighborhood more on the Fort Worth side of neighborhood, in my opinion, than Saratoga. You've got Gemstone Estates, which is, favorable as well. But here you have such quick access. Like, look how close you are to 377. You turn here onto Saratoga Boulevard from 377, and you go back a quarter mile, and you have all this neighborhood here. So you're legitimately 30 minutes from Fort Worth from Saratoga, and that's hard to beat in terms of location. What they're building here in Saratoga is the new phase is basically coming in like right around here. They're doing the next phase of the neighborhood, and so their first model home was actually located on a street called Seabiscuit, which was, I believe, right here. That's one of the main roads, so right now the extra phase is being built out here on Seabiscuit. So this road's kind of going on, and there's houses being built on both sides. So new phase, Saratoga, lots of incentives being offered by DR Horton. If you want any of this information, let me know. I'll share what I have with you. We are going to go out on site here in just a minute. We're going to take a look at some of the stuff there. Hope you can stay tuned in this video so you can see some of that. Before I do, I want to ask, there's always pros and cons. There's always pros and cons. What are the cons of buying DR Horton? Well, there's limited elevations. When you drive through the neighborhood, you kind of see the same thing over and over again. All the people in the neighborhood have similar floor plans. So if you got 4 friends that live in the neighborhood and you go to each other's houses, you're going to be going to the same house, basically. That's what it's going to feel like, especially if you have the same floor plan. There are some different floor plans, though, so there's a little bit of variation, but they have the same feel. We call this a cookie-cutter neighborhood. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. This is also a way you can save money. So you got to... The pro is that you get good quality build and nice finishes that are at a good value. The con is that there's not much character, not much variation. So that's one. Two, the tax rate's a little higher here at 1.6% rather than at 1.2. So that's also one piece of it. The lots are all going to be standard size, so you're not going to have anything too special. The HOA is not, it doesn't have golf courses and community pools, and you don't have all of that. So there's limitations as far as if you're looking for something like that. That's really the main things I would say is as far as the cons go. If you go look at other properties, there are some things you're going to like about some of those. There's more character, has a more unique elevation from the front. You can see the home, and it's like been more custom designed. These are all just kind of standard cookie cutter properties. So with that, we're going to run out to DR Horton Saratoga neighborhood today. We're going to take a look at the neighborhood, get some drone footage. We're going to go show you some of the homes they're building, give you a lay of the land on site, and I hope you enjoy this video so far, and hope you enjoy what's coming here in just a minute. So I'll see you out there in Saratoga. All right, we're out here on site in the second phase of Saratoga, DR Horton's neighborhood here in Granbury, Texas. And I want to show you basically all of these homes are finished and available. And what I'm seeing, none of them are currently sold. So homes are currently available. You can see construction work happening all over. I parked over here on the cul-de-sac, and I'm going to take a stroll up to a couple of the properties that are either under contract or already sold. They're at the basically at the end of the phase one. They're at the end of phase one, at the end of Seabiscuit. So one of the things you'll notice as you walk around this neighborhood, you'll notice that there's not many mature trees. It's a newer neighborhood. These are just being planted. There are sidewalks. That is important to folks. A lot of people, when they move here from up north, they're surprised that in Granbury, most of the homes do not have sidewalks. Some of these newer ones do, and it's just something they're not accustomed to. So it's safe, kid-friendly. Speaking of kids, I'm going to show you the park right up here. Pretty nice area. So I think it's a great place to raise a family. Let me see if I can get you some close-ups of some of these houses. Most of them are brick. Nice brick homes. Decent curb appeal. Not too much variation, as I said. You do get a bit of that cookie cutter feel. So right here we have 2 available and 1 sold on Seabiscuit. And phase 1 is on the other side. So once you pass that sold sign there, you're over in phase 1 of Saratoga. We're going to take a walk right up here and we're going to see the park. So if you have kids and you want to take a stroll and let them play for a little while, you do have this included with the HOA. Again, that was $100 per quarter, so $400 for the year for the HOA fees. And there's the park. Got a little basketball goal over there as well. And you have the sidewalks that wrap around. We could keep walking, but it's hot, so we're not gonna go too far. So this neighborhood, there are shared mailboxes, so you don't have a mailbox in front of each home. You got a kind of a PO box set up that there's a few stations around. So I had a client that had a hard time locating theirs because there's like 3 different locations for the mailboxes. But anyway, there are a shared mailbox section with the PO box, and what that does is just helps make room for the sidewalks. If there was mailboxes and stuff put out here, they wouldn't be able to do that. And so that's a part of their strategy for doing that. So these properties, as I mentioned, I have all of the floor plans in my office with the square footages, and I'd be happy to send those over to you if it's something that you're interested in. This one here is the one that's sold on Seabiscuit. All right. With that, I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you're looking for a nice starter home at an affordable price, or maybe a second move up, we'd love the chance to give you any information you'd like on this particular neighborhood, or if you'd like to look at some others. So, honorable mentions, if you're interested in finding something that's very affordable: Comanche Cove, Indian Harbor, Canyon Creek. There are some cons to those neighborhoods, and we'll go over those later. If you're wanting something that's just a touch above these, bigger yards, more character, I'd recommend Ashley Oaks, Meander Estates. You could even go a little bit higher than that and move over to Abe's Landing, which is doing their own development right now north of the square. So maybe that's some good info for you if you want to check it out. Happy to set up a Zoom call with you where we'll pull up a map and go over all these different areas and kind of circle where they're at and all that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If I don't hear from you, hope to see you around Granbury sometime.